Hello, I'm Bob Benjy, founder of Benjy Law Corporation, a litigation boutique firm here in Los Angeles, California, and serving throughout the state of California. As I've stated previously, we handle litigation matters within the arena of collections and within the arena of real estate disputes and financial disputes. And my personal passion is post-judgment collection work, where we assist our clients in recovering and collecting on money judgments awarded them by courts here in California, both state and federal. And so today we're going to make the second part in our series of videos on post-judgment collections concerns under California state law. As always, please understand this video is intended purely as educational material and as marketing material, of course, and it is not intended as legal advice. So please do seek the advice of legal counsel before relying on it in this video. In any case, let's dive into the materials. Today we're going to talk about what happens when you collect money on a judgment after it's been entered, and how you're supposed to apply the collections that you've received. So we're going to go through an example. Let's say you have acquired a money judgment against the defendant. You are a judgment creditor, that's what we call you, and the former defendant is now known as the judgment debtor. The amount of the judgment is for $1 million. Jane Roe owes Bob Benjy $1 million on this judgment in this example. And Bob Benjy jumps through the hoops after the judgment's entered and is able to levy on Jane Roe's bank accounts. He's able to garnish some wages, whatever. It doesn't matter how he gets it, but he gets his hands on $100,000 3 years after this judgment's been entered. So the judgment was for $1 million. 3 years has gone by. It has accrued 10% per annum interest under California state law for California judgments. That's $300,000 of interest is accrued on the $1 million principal of the judgment. So 1.3 is owed. Bob levies on some accounts. He gets lucky. He collects $500,000. How do we apply it, and what do we need to do? The $500,000 that gets applied as follows. First, it gets applied to the accrued unpaid post-judgment interest. Before it ever applies to the principal, it applies to the interest. So of the 500, we're going to take the first 300. We're going to apply it to the interest, bring that down to zero. Now there's no more post-judgment interest that's been accrued and outstanding. And the remaining 200 of the 500 gets applied to reduce the principal balance by $200,000 from $1 million down to $800,000. So starting in year 3 of the judgment, the new principal balance is now $800,000. And what we need to do when we collect the 500 is we need to, within 15 days of collecting it, file and serve a partial satisfaction of judgment, which is a form from the California Judicial Council. And that is so that everybody knows that the judgment has been reduced, and here's how we applied the money. So going forward in year 3, now we're still owed $800,000. 5 years after that, 8 years into the loan, interest has continued to accrue on the 800 at 10% per annum, or $80,000 a year. 5 years has gone by. That's another 5 times 80 is $400,000. So our new balance owed at this point is 800 principal and 400 in interest. And so a total balance of 1.2 is owed. Let's say we levy on account, we get lucky, we get $1 million in. That $1 million will get applied first to the interest. That'll reduce the 400 down to zero, and the remaining 600 of the million that we collected will get applied to the 800 principal balance, reducing it down to 200,000. So now that we got the million, again, we need to file a partial satisfaction of judgment, get that served, let everybody know that our new balance owed on the judgment going forward is now $200,000. You get the idea? Please understand the federal court judgments accrue interest at a lower rate. It's a more complex analysis as far as the math is concerned, but there's online calculators that can help you figure that out. The general principles I've discussed here, though, are the same for state and federal court judgments. As always, I am grateful that you've joined me here today. If there are any questions, you can find me through our website of Benjy Law Corporation in Los Angeles. The website is www.benjylaw.com. That's www.benjy, like yes, law.com. And we're happy to serve and happy to discuss your concerns with regard to your own money judgment or collection matters or real estate or business matters. Thank you so much. Please like this video and subscribe. Thank you.